Hey, what's up guys? In this video I'm going to attempt to explain the filter routing in Spire. Alright, so we have our oscillator selection here, and each oscillator can be independently routed to either filter 1 or filter 2. For oscillator 1, we'll just route it to filter 1 for now. Right, and up here is filter 1, and down here is filter 2. So why would you want two filters? Well, you can get some really interesting sounds, different kind of shaping. You can have a band pass on the low end for more bass, and then a high end kind of resonant and acid resonant, and you can combine them and get some really interesting sounds. Two filters better than one. Alright, so this filter 1, cutoff 1, resonance 1, cutoff 2, resonance 2. We're going to do filter 1 here. So there's a bunch of filters here. Perfecto is kind of the Spire filter, I would assume. Alright, we have that modulate. We'll just turn that off. Right, and these all have different resonances. So each filter has its different modes. Low pass, which shaves off all the high end, which lets the low end come through. Band pass, which kind of has a low pass and a high pass. A bit more bite. High pass, you know, it's the opposite of a low pass filter. And peak. This is kind of like an EQ notch. It's a neat way to go about it. Acido is of course the 303. It's highly resonant. Right, so we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as you go up 1, 2, 3, 4, you get more poles. So more poles, it's more of an aggressive cut. So low pass 1, you know, the curve is not as intense, and as we go up, it's more intense. Right, it just it comes down to your taste. So if you want like an aggressive acid sound, you would want Acido, low pass 4. Filters sound pretty good. So now Infecto, this is the virus filter. It has a lot of low end and is highly resonant. Right, I have 2 virus synths because I like the filters that much. Low pass 2, band pass, high pass, and notch. Notch is the notches it out, and this was famous in the Virus B. It didn't have a phaser, but it had a notch filter, and this kind of sounds like a phaser. We heard that in a pad or 2. Scorpio, I'm not quite sure. I believe this, I guess this could be from the MS-20. It's a bit more aggressive, and it has a lot of like distortion going on. It's the most resonant one. Low pass 2 and low pass 4 of red. Right, multiple points of resonance, and there's black LP2 low pass, which is, I guess, a bit more dirtier. It's the second revision of the MS-20. I don't know. This is new. Who knows? And yeah, and then we have our comb filter, plus or minus. This is the Spangle effect. Right, so it's a bunch of filters all moving in unison. Which are like it's like the peak, but it's a lot more of them, and you can have them plus or minus mono and stereo. So even in odd harmonics, it's a different kind of feel, and it's you might have heard it a few times. And it's really weird, and I've heard that in a few Spangle tracks. So yeah, that is the filter rundown. So we haven't gone into the routing yet. So this is where it gets kind of confusing. So we have filter 1 and filter 2, and we can have the output of oscillator 1, 2, 3, or 4 independently routed into either filter 1 or filter 2. But the output of filter 1 and 2 is mixable here. So if we go, say, parallel, so the filter is not running in series, one filter into another, which you might be into. If we go parallel, both filters separated and then summed together, and we have this set to filter 1, we will get no sound. And you'd be like, WTF, mate, what's going on here? Right? So we have to go to our filter balance. Right? So we have filter 1 all the way over here. They should really put like a 1 or a 2 here. If you're watching this, put a 1 or a 2. Right? So you don't have any sound going there, and you're like, what the heck? All right. So what I want to do is I want to show you using kind of 2 filters at the same time. All right. So we have filter input 1 and 2. So we have oscillator 1 going into both filter 1 and filter 2. Right? And we have the filter balance, the output of filter 1 and filter 2, both going through into our effects and amplifier sections, which is pretty cool. All right. So we're going to have, I guess, this is a technique. We can go, band pass. So we'll go filter balance 1. We'll just listen to filter 1 for now. Right, so we have that. This is just an example. We'll go to filter 2, and that's completely bypassed. We'll go, I guess, infecto. Right, so we have that resonance there, and then we have that there. So we combine them, and then we'll do that little XComp thing. Doesn't sound like much, but once you add NOR shaping, which we'll get into, you can really drive the sound. It's kind of a weird example. You get the idea. It's different filters. So don't get discouraged if you don't really get this right away. It confuses me sometimes. There's parallel. Okay. Just a little review. You can skip the next video if you're not interested. But we have each oscillator can be routed into either filter 1 or filter 2 or both. And there's a mixable knob here. So we have oscillator 1 going into both filter 1 and filter 2. The oscillator balance dictates which filter gets output, both or one or the other. If you have parallel disabled, you have a serial, so one filter going into another. So you'd want to have this filter, you'd want to have filter 2 being the main output, because you don't want filter 1 going into filter 2 and the filter 2 going out and then the filter 2 going into here. You could get like a weird kind of thing. But if you're into that, yeah, whatever, it's fine. But yeah, I drew a diagram. This is similar to the one in Native Instruments, massive. But yeah, kind of confusing, but you'll get it. Key track, I will explain. Key track, it opens the filter as you go up in pitch, up in your key. So I'll give you a listen to what that sounds like. We turn on key tracking. So I'll play up the keyboard. You'll notice that as the pitch is going up, and that's pretty cool. Yeah, I guess that's it for the filter section. Yeah, hope you learned stuff, and take care.